This is just disgusting right here. Black leaders demand white victims to be charged. It just seems to me, yeah, the white guy maybe slapped the black guy, but there's more to that, right? It's just what they're not showing you. This is what the race baiting shit I'm talking about right here, and everything. It shows on the camera they talking about targeting the white people, the white woman, the guardian, and the white guy. They was planning to target him and everything. And the one who got slapped did not strike back at the white guy. He waited all his friends gang up into it, joining. Then he jumped in like a fucking little coward. Okay? And this is why a lot of white people is getting sick of the shit that's going on in the world. Because, oh, you slapped me up. No. You taunt them. You pick them out. You started the initiation. He slapped the shit out of you. Deal with it.
Hasn't been arrested, and they argue that he caused the chain reaction leading to everything else.
So we have covered the so-called Cincinnati Brawl on this channel multiple different times.
Cincinnati
In reality,
Brawl,
it is black mob violence
lynching
against 6 white individuals, which can be seen on the video from multiple different angles, and is one of the most clear and obvious cases of an unjustified mob attack that you can possibly have. And we talked about how all these different various people are going out of their way to bend over backwards in order to cater to the attackers. And the reason they're doing this is because the attackers in this particular instance are black individuals, and they don't like the way that looks. So they're trying to figure out a way to justify white people being the victims of this attack and essentially blame them for the black mob violence that was inflicted upon them. Now, we did an entire video on the Cincinnati City Councilwoman who posted on Facebook in a reply to a comment that the white people were asking for the beating, thanking whatever random dumbass commenter that told her this narrative for giving her the quote-unquote whole story. Well, now that has escalated. We have the vice mayor that we talked about before basically going on the local news and saying that the reason why this instance of black mob violence is bad is because it gives people a negative perception of downtown Cincinnati where this occurred, and it's an accurate perception. And of course, we talked about the police chief blaming everything and anything but the attackers in this particular instance, including claiming that the establishments that may have served people alcohol overserved them as a mechanism to start this whole chaos.
Still an open investigation, and all potential charges are being investigated for everyone involved. All investigative tools and techniques are on the table, including, were some of these individuals overserved at some local establishments? It is clear to us that alcohol played a significant part in this incident.
Now it's gone even further. Now multiple black representatives, including a pastor, have decided to come out and demand charges against the white people who were attacked by these black people because they believe that they're the victims of racism, because in one moment of this video, a white person called a black person the N-word. And by the way, I have broken down this video. I have looked through this. This is in the middle of the fight. So in the middle of being attacked, this white person said a no-no word, and somehow that travels back in time and justifies said attack. Now, we're going to get into this. We're going to break down exactly how these people are lying. But before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money. Okay?
The Cincinnati Police Unit indicating arrests of the Caucasian people involved in the brawl downtown last month may not be coming.
The Fraternal Order of Police president released a statement today writing, quote, "Police and prosecutors say it would be extremely difficult to establish probable cause against a victim. Police have already established the white people involved as being victims." As David Winter reports, this all comes as a 7th person is arraigned for the incident, raising racial tension in a city already feeling the pressure.
So the premise of this local news segment is so patently absurd and ridiculous because you have black leaders that are outraged that all black people have been charged so far in this attack, even though all black people on video were the ones engaging in this attack. In fact, the local news segment actually cuts to a video of a white person on the floor and multiple black people from the crowd stomping on this defenseless person while he's on the ground, while at the same time telling you that it's very racially charged, that white person has yet to be charged with, I guess, attempted or successful acceptance of a beatdown. It doesn't make any sense at all. And again, I had to freeze frame it right there, but if you want to look at the local news segments or any of the clips that I freeze frame throughout the course of this video in full context, they will be linked in the description of this video under where it says sources. They're also labeled, by the way, so they're very easy to find.
Yeah, that seventh person in court today arraigned on charges of aggravated robbery and aggravated riot. But it is who continues to not appear before a judge behind me that is continuing to cause the racial tension to rise in the city.
It's a powder keg. It's a powder keg.
The attorney for the latest African-American man arrested for what police are calling a riot is referring to the potential explosive situation building in Cincinnati. 32-year-old Gregory Wright appearing for his arraignment this morning.
While a gentleman was getting pummeled on the ground, like literally beaten in the face, we have video of Mr. Wright reaching up, grabbing a hold of the neck of the victim and jerking a chain off of his neck.
So again, I had to freeze frame the video because of YouTube's terms of service right there, but everything that was described to you by that officer is what is shown in the video. While this white person is on the ground and another black individual is punching him repeatedly in the face as he's trying to defend himself from multiple attackers from multiple angles, this individual, the one that they have arraigned, is accused of and is seen on the video, let me be clear about that, walking up to him and yanking a chain off of his neck. So this guy saw somebody who was on the ground and said, you know what, now's a good time for a little bit of robbery, and he decided to engage in said robbery. And we're being told by black leaders and politicians that, you know what, that's not the problem. That's not the issue right there, because earlier on in the middle of the fight, they heard the N-word being uttered, and I don't know if you guys know this, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but uttering those magic syllables near black people justifies absolutely anything those black people do to you afterwards. And by the way, that utterance was in the middle of the fight. They were already ganging up on him, already attacking him. It was a heated situation, and he said something that he likely should not have said. It's not cool to call people racial slurs, but in the context of you're already being attacked, it is the lowest tier concern of everybody, or at least it should be. But of course, this is not how it works with black woke representatives.
But what the judge did in the midst of the arraignment may speak volumes to the rising tension in the city.
Can we send a couple of deputies to the outside so as to make sure that while I conduct this hearing, that everyone understands that everyone is to be cool, to keep it cool.
7 people have now been arrested for the melee at 4th and Elm, all of them African American, none of them from the group of 6 Caucasian people police are calling victims.
So while they're arraigning this guy, they yanked the chain off of somebody who is on the ground being pummeled by a black attacker. There are people outside protesting on behalf of this criminality, basically saying that the white guy was assaulting the black guy by hitting his fist with his head, and in reality, the white person should be charged with assault.
We as a city have blown this.
Cincinnati City Councilman Scotty Johnson
It's time to make these charges.
and Vice Mayor Jan Michelle Lemon Kearney spoke out yesterday at a meeting of black community leaders demanding all of those involved in the incident be charged, not just the black people.
So the local news shows us a council person and of course the vice mayor right there talking about how everybody needs to be charged in this particular instance, especially those evil white racist white people. And again, they don't give you the whole clips because there's more from this press conference, more people coming forward, essentially trying to make the case that the white people were the instigators for being evil white racists.
6 individuals were charged with aggravated assault, which is a felony. The white guy incited or urged 6 other people to commit a felony.
The method by which this situation has been handled raises serious questions as to whether there's bias involved in the investigation. It also brings into question the possibility of a lack of integrity and whether there's something else to hide.
Now look, I'm going to show you exactly what their argument is, and then I'm going to disassemble it without mercy because it's so absurd. But need I remind you that one of the white people that they want charged in this particular instance is a white woman in this blue dress that you have likely seen sprawled out onto the street after she was knocked out cold, who after the guy was already down was trying to prevent him from being attacked. And when she was trying to break up said fight, a black woman came from her side to attack her without her even knowing that she was coming, and then a black man squared up and punched her dead in the face, sucker punching her, by the way, knocking her out cold on the street, and her face is extremely battered and bruised.
As you can see, they try to make like the black people the victims, not the whites. This kind of shit with these Black Lives Matter people and woke people are the reason why there's so much racial tension between blacks and whites. This is a prime example. Like I was saying, you give certain people a little bit of power and it goes to their fucking heads. This is the kind of shit that's gonna cause all this racial war gonna happen out because of all this kind of shit right here. They see clearly. Yeah, he might say the N-word. This is in the middle of the fight when you get already ganged up by everybody. Of course you're gonna call them what the fuck they are. They're ganging up on you. Now the roles reversed. They said, oh, that's racist. But it's not. It's racist. The whites ganging all on blacks is racist. Blacks ganging all on whites is racist. But no. They gotta be made like the victims. Blacks gotta be like they're innocent. They didn't do nothing wrong. No, we're all innocent. No, motherfuckers. Y'all showing the videos that, hey, we jump on the two white Russians. Right there. Y'all already set that out and plan it. So, why are you saying you're not the victim? Y'all the victim, not the perpetrators. Motherfuckers, y'all the fucking perpetrators. It took, what, 20 something y'all to jump on 6 white people. You try to kill them, then you rob them. They like said a few days ago after that what happened in that Saturday, a few days after that, 20-something white people jumped on a black boy. Do you call coincidence? Yes. People don't get this right here. For 200-something years, we was at fault. Being blamed for every little thing. Every little fucking thing. I got a video coming up, gonna be dropping in February, for Black History Month. It's gonna knock all this shit out. It's 200-something year lie that was just told to everybody out. And it's gonna make a lot of people pissed off. You're gonna get a lot of people upset. Might get me blocked. Might get my channel taken down, which I'm fine with that. I got another backup channel. Got 2 backup channels, plus working on a 3rd one. But this shit right here is what's really going on. You can see how much racial hatred these Black Lives Matter and woke black judges have for victims. But it's all coming out of play because a big boss over Cincinnati is on the Senate is going to boycott them. That's what that means. Meaning they're going to lose their federal funding. They ain't going to get no help. Nothing. If they had a disaster, they ain't going to get no help. No schools money. None of that shit. So yeah. Good night, everyone.